Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Blue Balls podcast, episode number 26, the last international break, which might have come at the wrong time for us, but I guess we're at least in a good position. We're in good form, and we've actually shown ourselves in a positive light over the last few weeks. Plenty of topics to get into. Could Chelsea be getting relegated, or is this just a load of BS? We'll delve into that. Um, Talks over Conor Gallagher and a new contract, the whole Osimhen Tony situation, and all the latest transfer news surrounding Chelsea over the last week. We'll be delving into it on this show. So stay tuned, hit the like button, subscribe, check out everybody's socials, literally the name on the bottom left. And enjoy the show, people. Enjoy the show. Big up, Kev. What are you telling me, my guy? It's good to link up again.
What's the link up and all? Just the final one then before Saturday. Big weekend ahead. Looking forward to it. Massive game. A chance for us to carry on the momentum from that City game. I think Newcastle have got 14 injuries. I think going into the game, so this is a massive chance for us to go and get 3 points. And who would have thought that we could potentially be getting 7 points against Arsenal, Tottenham, City, and Newcastle if we beat Newcastle. So it's a big game for us to go and get some points. Let's go and do it. Really, that's all we need to do. Same old international periods, bore off, get it out of the way, and let's get back to the proper stuff. And let's see Chelsea pick up some points towards the end of the year.
Facts. 5 more days, and then this crap is over. Thank the
Oh,
Lord. Alex, what are you telling me, my guy? Good to have you back on the pod.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched like any of the international games, but yeah, just it's long, isn't it, without football? I was speaking to Charlie the other day on the phone, and I was just saying like it's just a bit empty without having the football. Like you're so used to traveling up and going to London or wherever it is you go, and then you wake up on a Sunday after a Saturday where maybe you've had a free day and you've got another one. So, man, I'm just excited to get back to it. To be honest with you, Newcastle, I'm confident. I'm happy with the team. I'm happy with the Man City game, mate. I rewatched that game. I think I've rewatched it 3 times already. I love that game. I've actually, after watching that game again, I think that was the greatest game of football I've ever seen. I really think that was the best game of football I've ever seen from a live stance. Right, I'm not saying like TV
Oh,
or
okay.
that, but like the best game I've ever been to. And mate, it's a hard decision looking at that game. Like, let's go from Ajax. Ajax was unbelievable. Like we were 4-1 down. I think we were 4-1 down at half time, or 3-1 down at half time. And I remember everyone going in the concourse. We're not going to get anything out of this, and we managed to come back 4-4. Albeit maybe a couple of dodgy refereeing decisions, but same thing against City, isn't it? So you win some, you lose some. And yeah, it was just tight. I think that's what edges it out for me. Against Ajax, we were out, and then we had a bit of a lifeline. Whereas against City, mate, these guys just won the treble. They've got arguably the greatest player in world football with Haaland, best team in world football, best manager in world football. They're just the best. And we were toe to toe with them. We were all over them. Tactically, I thought we were superb. I thought we had the mentality. We came back from behind a number of times. So, I mean, judging from where we were a month ago on this podcast, we've gone from seeing a team which, is putting effort in but isn't getting the results, where we're actually getting to the stage where we're almost questioning the manager at this point already, to a team that we actually believe in. And, we talk about process, and we had this argument as well, Lewis, and you're seeing
Yeah, we've
progress
had
as
this
well.
for endless weeks.
yeah,
So,
Alex, let me quickly interrupt though. Like teams that play football, your Tottenhams, your Cities, and the teams in the top six who play football, we're set up to go and get goals and go and play against teams like that. It's fair to see it now in black and white. The problem is when you play against Brentfords and West Ham's, teams are low blocks going to get you in a counter attack. So I wasn't too surprised that we got a result against the Arsenal, Tottenham, because those are the teams that we can get on the break and we get in behind them, and that's exactly what we've been doing. But I worry against the teams with a low block, and that's where we need to start finding some consistency. Because there's no point going and getting points against Arsenal, getting points against Tottenham, um, putting all these good performances, and when it comes to a lower league opposition that's going to sit with 2 banks of 4, and we can't break them down, and we get hit in the counter, and we're conceding goals off counter attacks and corner kicks and all kinds of things. So it's about us getting consistency against the teams with low blocks, and where my worry is right now. That's my only worry right now. Apart from that, it's a lot more positive than last season. And that's, we've got to be happy with it. We've got to be happy with the progress over the last year.
Yeah,
you took the words out of my mouth with that one. You look at the next 4 games coming up. I've been saying it to my mates, where it's like we have Newcastle, Brighton, United, Everton coming up, and I'm more worried about Everton than all of them.
Yeah,
Sean Dyche sitting back, an away trip, early kickoff at Goodison Park. It looks like the most blatant 1-0 in history. But that's the biggest test for me, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be more defensive minded than any of the other 3. Poch was correct when he said we play better against the bigger teams, but he also said we struggle against low blocks. So
Newcastle's going to be a tough game as well, though, because they're defensively the best team in the league, if you ask me. They're going to be a massive test. They're a really aggressive team, so they're not going to give us any space. So I
feel like the injuries have killed them, though.
Yeah.
Did you watch them against Bournemouth? They were awful. They should have lost by 7.
Yeah. There was
it that
if
bad?
That's the same team that Bournemouth are always terrible finishers. They're worse than
Trippier. Even Trippier's out now as well. He's just pulled out the England squad for our final game. So even he could be out. So they're missing vital
He's second Almiron's back, though. I did hear that.
Almiron might be out. So they've got key men out. So this is our chance. But like you said, against Bournemouth, they wasn't too good. But they really are a good, aggressive defensive team. So we need to break them down. I think we can get the 3 points, but it's just how we can break them down and be just be, what's the word I'm trying to use for now? We've got to be, when we're playing in front of a team of a low block, we've got to be patient, and that's what we're not doing. We seem to rush the play. So if we can be patient and break them down, I'm sure we can probably get the points.
I'd say, if anything, we need to be a bit more clinical, but I'd argue that we might be turning a corner, because that City game was the first game in ages where I feel like we didn't waste a lot of chances. We took our chances when we had them. City stifled us at some points, but whenever we were driving into box, whenever we were making big chances, we were scoring those chances too. I'd hope that is a bit of a turning point for us. But again, we need to see against a different sort of team. If we have a team that gives us less space, how are we going to operate? Because we've shown we can make chances, even against teams that defend. It's just, do we finish them? Villa, we were wasteful. Nottingham Forest, we were kind of wasteful, but we also didn't really make a lot. What other game is there? Brentford, we made a lot of chances within the first 30, 45 minutes, but we were wasteful in that game too. So it comes down to 2 things. How do we manage it? And also, do we bury our chances when we get them? Yeah. I just think we might actually be turning a corner now, thankfully.
I mean, to be fair, if you actually look at, let's just look at the midfield and compare it to what we had last year, taking Enzo out of the equation. Obviously, you have Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, right? There's no goal scorers there. And I actually think that we've done quite well in getting players in that are starting consistently for us that can score a goal. I'd argue that Enzo should be doing more, but Gallagher is really built up his confidence. I think when we started the season, he didn't really want to shoot, but now he's growing in, and when he's getting a chance, he's got the confidence, mate. And that's what set us up with the Jackson goal against City. I think Caicedo's got a cracking shot on him as well. I never knew he was capable of that. Because I remember when we were deciding between Rice and Caicedo, I would have gone Rice every day of the week. And the only reason I would have done that is because I said, well, you know what? There's a player who can score goals. But, I mean, Caicedo was unlucky against Spurs not to get that goal, from outside the box. So I'm seeing a threat from those 2 players. And then I think creatively, Enzo maybe gives us a little bit more in that sense. But he's the one player for me that needs to do a little bit more in the final third. He links up the play well. I like his creativity. I think he can open up with nice passes. But how many chances has Fernandes had when it's always gone over the bar, and it's just a little bit, not sloppy, but just that final end product, which hopefully will come in time. But I'm more confident with our midfield from a goal scoring standpoint than I was last year. And I think, especially if you're lacking goals up top, which I think we're also improving with. I think Palmer's starting to. Well, he's already one of our best players. Sterling's obviously got a bit of form as well, and then you've got Jackson, who's got 4 goals in his last.
We've got better numbers already. We've got better numbers already than last season's
Even though, you're right, but the performance-wise, it's still shaky at times.
Well, but I mean that's part of it, isn't it, Father? I mean, are you talking about Spurs and City, or just generally?
Generally, like what I see so far is just like we picked up at least some great numbers in terms of stats, but even though the results have been shaky the last couple of games, like discount Man City, I'll also put like Brentford, Burnley, Fulham. Those teams are playing a low block, even though we're a bit shaky. But at the same time, like you said, maybe it's just like, even myself, even in the beginning, like maybe I was too overreacting. We got a very young squad. Potter is a manager, and then this question is always coming up in a big way. Like personally, like I would kind of like see where we are at the moment. By the time we get to Newcastle, if we get Nkunku back, that is the main question. Where is he going to play? Is he going to want that bench Gallagher?
Mate, I think it's going to be
Might be Gallagher, might be Jackson.
The thing is though, everybody knows within the fan base, and Nkunku is there, Gallagher's there in regards to quality. Yeah, but Nkunku's got to come in and he's got to work his socks off. He can't just expect to walk in just on quality when Gallagher's giving you more than quality. He's giving you work ethic, he's giving you 100%, giving you commitment, he's giving you desire, he's giving you ticking every single box right now that you want from any player. So Nkunku's got his work cut out. Nkunku cannot expect to walk straight into that number 10 spot. I'd start with Gallagher until Nkunku gets fit, gets the level, and when Nkunku's chipping in with assists and goals, maybe then we can say, you know what, Gallagher, your time's done. But it's going to take a lot of work for Nkunku to take that spot, in my opinion. Anyway,
Blessing in disguise, though.
Do you think there's anything?
Because if that happens, that means you don't have to rush him back.
Yeah, there you go.
Have we argued about this about Nkunku playing as a number 9? I just don't see him as a number 9.
Nah, wasted.
It could work. Like, he's just meant to be playing down the middle, if anything, be in the 10 or the 9. That's why I'd say you base it on the opposition. If you're playing a defensive-minded team, you don't really need Gallagher in there. So you could put him in the 10 instead. If you're playing a team that's maybe is going to come out and give you a bit more of a game, maybe you bench Jackson and you have Gallagher in the team because he'd offer you a bit more in that sort of sense. So maybe just base it on the opposition. That's the way I've always felt with it.
But the thing is with Nkunku, the only thing that would worry me about him playing in number 9 is his back to goal. Nkunku, you want Nkunku on the spin. You want Nkunku facing that way. You don't want him facing that way. And Jackson does it well. Jackson holds the ball. Well, we have another striker with that physical presence in a long time, and that's what Jackson's doing well right now. He can play with his back to goal, and Nkunku is not that kind of player. I think in a false number 9, he'd do well, but for out of that number 9, which is going to hold that ball up in those attacking areas, I don't think he'd do the team justice, personally.
The thing is, as well, Nkunku, you got Lavia coming back, Chukwuemeka in the next 2 or 3 weeks. They're literally a significant amount of upgrade that we've had, and then I think they will create even more competition to fight for those places. Don't forget, like, January transfer window is coming as well. Like, we could have this opportunity again to sell some of the squad players that we've got and then buy another striker.
Yeah.
I think that the worst player that's going to be affected by players coming back is Mudryk. I think we saw it in pre-season. He got a complete lack of minutes. He still did all right, to be fair, when he came on. But I think what Poch will do, I think he's going to try and incorporate as many of them as he can. I can see him changing things around. I can see him playing Gallagher deeper. I can see him trying to fit in Nkunku and trying to fit in Chukwuemeka as well. I don't know why nobody talks about Chukwuemeka. I love him. He's great.
It's just now there's limited opportunities for him
all the time. But for me,
there's going to be a few that's going out alone. There's got to be. There's too many now. There's too many, and
you haven't even mentioned Mudryk yet.
Oh, man.
Mudryk's got to go.
I think he's on. I think he's going on loan again.
Yeah, he should.
Salabri, we sold, I think.
I don't even think
Lavia, So if Lavia comes back and he hits the ground running, he's probably kept himself in it. But I think because of the poor start he's had so far, I think he's probably worth of going away and getting some minutes alone. I'd get rid of Lavia over Chukwuemeka personally, but it's just down to Poch sees it.
Lavia, I don't know, man. I would love to see Poch somehow put Lavia in that midfield three, but
Lavia is another one that we don't have to rush back. Like, we don't really need to. If anything, when he's fit, he probably goes into Ugo Chukwu role, where it's like you just bring him on last 10, 20 minutes, slow down a game if you want to. Then maybe Leslie goes out on loan, because I think the main plan was that he went out, but obviously
and the
I love Leslie, man. I love Leslie.
As well from Santos from Forest as well. Apparently, he's only had two appearances, one start and one substitute appearance. So he's very unhappy there and wants to come back to Chelsea. So
might as well, just to be coached around better players. There's no real point keeping him at Forest if he's not going to get any game time. He started one game in the League Cup and he had 7 minutes at Anfield. That's
7 minutes at Anfield. Yeah,
they're already 3-0 down when they brought him on. Like, it was pointless. It's the most pity minutes I've seen in my life. So yeah, bring him back if you have to. Loan him out if you can, but if you can't, just keep him here. You might as well learn Poch's system. Might as well be around better players. Being at Forest is doing nothing.
Yeah, because we got FA Cup as well coming up, so he might be good for a rotation.
I think he's still at the bottom of our list as well. Deep, you got Ugo Chukwu, then you got Lavia.
It depends. Like who the opposition is. Like if we come up against the strongest team in the third round.
I mean, our midfield is stacked, bro. Like I don't think he gets game time with us. Or his bet is to leave Forest and us loan him out somewhere else if we can find somewhere else for him. Because here it's still going to be limited minutes. I just want him here because he's here. Keep him with Poch at least. At least he's learning his system, not some other guy's system that he's not even going to be there. He's not even going to be there to implement in about 6 months. That would be pointless.
I genuinely have no idea what Poch's going to do. I think it will take at least a couple of games from Newcastle onwards to get his full potential starting 11 straight away. At this point, like, we got Carabao Cup coming up in December, plus the FA Cup in January. If we go far in the Carabao Cup, we've got semi-final as well. I think it'll be 1 leg or 2 leg this season, but I'm not sure. Then Jackson's got 2 legs, yeah. So it's two legs. Then Jackson's going to AFCON. Right. That's how you become kind of okay, at the moment we're not at that City level yet, but it's just like journey of that thought. Like there's the old saying, like a journey a thousand mile beginning with a single step, but we're already in that middle of the steps though to the top. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah, like you said, we've got stacked players in our midfield, and not only the back line, but also the front line midfield as well. But yeah, I don't know what he's going to do, to be fair.
I mean, he's got time. I think our starting 11 already makes sense for now. In January, I guess maybe we go for a striker, or it's going to be Nkuku leading the line for 2 games. And then Jackson will be back. Like, he's only missing 2 league games. The bigger worry is if we're in the League Cup semis. But then that also just adds into question Tony or Osimhen. It feels like we're leaning more towards Osimhen. Matt Law and a few other sources are saying that he's our number 1 target, that we're speaking to his agents. We haven't really started any conversation with Tony's agents. So the bigger question is who's playing up front in January? Because we're not getting Osimhen in January.
No,
Osimhen's going to the AFCON as well, though, in Nigeria.
Yeah, he's going to AFCON as well.
So we'll never even be able to use him.
Oh,
so in a real case, that's the bigger question, not the starting 11.
The real question as well, like what's gonna happen to Roger?
Put him alone.
Nah, he'll probably have to play. If it's not Nkuku up top, it'll be him.
He deserves
his opportunity, I guess.
He's been good when he's come on. Like, I'd give him minutes against Newcastle off the bench. He deserves a run, you know. Bro, as a player, I feel so
I'm just not judging Broja just yet because he was coming off the injury, but I can't say he's been impressive.
He was all right under Potter, you know. For me, he was doing okay, and then he broke his leg or whatever it was that he did.
He had like 1 start under Potter.
The
He just had his Havertz fetish, so he never got to
You know
really
what
see
it is,
it.
bro? It's got all the endeavours there, the work rate's there, the heart's there, but he just needs a running games. He just needs a good 10. Judge him. If he gets a good 10 games and he starts every single game, judge him then, and we can say if he's good or not. Because right now, he's too inconsistent. Even with Potter, he was coming off the bench. We never really give him opportunity to show us what he could do. When he was at Southampton, he got played every single game, and he was probably one of the best young players coming up in the league at that point with the opportunity. But at Chelsea's never had the run of games. I think if we're getting linked with Osimhen and you got Jackson, he's just going to be third choice. So where is he going to learn his trade? Well, he's still a young lad. Where he's going to learn his trade? So I think it's a bit unfortunate for him, really. But if he gets the opportunity in January, he's got to take it. He's got to prove to the manager, he's got to prove to the fans that he's capable of doing it. And if he comes up with the goods, maybe he's kept himself in the team. But right now, as we speak, I think he needs a loan. He needs a run of games to get himself fit.
We really needed Europe, man. It would have just solved so many problems. You could throw the Conference League to the youth or the Europa League to the youth, but yeah, we weren't even good enough for that last season.
Yeah,
hey, at this rate, give me Conference League, man.
Mate,
yeah, I would have taken Conference League last year.
No.
Dodgy away days. Let's go. Start back that European trophy.
He wants to get sent to fucking Israel on the Thursday night or somewhere.
Hey, give me a step, bruv. Give me some. Wait, I want us to complete a European set.
Talk
Who
about
says
crazy
no?
away day.
Who says no?
You were getting Sparta Prague and all kind of
Europa
teams
League,
like that.
Champions League, Conference League.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I'd easily take us running the Conference League. We could sing Champions of Europe and we've actually won everything. To be shameless with a hint of truth.
We are kind of kidding ourselves when we say we won it all because I haven't got the Conference League. So I don't know, man.
Now it's a bit
competition did though, didn't it? So we've got one leg to stand on. But man, I think it's difficult though. Like even when you talk about players getting a run out, Mudryk needs a run out. Like Jackson needs a run out. Everyone needs a bloody run out. But you're not supposed to get a run out when you're at Chelsea. You're supposed to perform straight away. And then we talk about the process, but then we criticize everything when people are going with the process and it's not happening straight away. So people are asking for different things and expecting the same results, no matter what. They're expecting us to win if we start young players. They're expecting us to win if we sign big players. Like whatever we do, like there's always something. So yeah, Madueke has to go. But Mudryk, man, I feel bad for him as well because I guarantee when Nkunku comes back, when Chukwuemeka comes back, his minutes are going to be limited because I don't see him starting week in, week out ahead of Sterling when Sterling's in form. And I think what they'll actually do is they'll do similar to what they did in pre-season. You know, play Nkunku or Chukwuemeka on the left and play one of the others as a cam behind Jackson so they can link up. And on that right-hand side, maybe stick Sterling there. So
personally, Alex, I don't think he's unfortunate though. He's been at the club for a year. They call it a year now, and he should. Okay, he's played under different managers. He started the season again. He hasn't really had many injuries. He's got to prove. He's got to be proving himself now that he's worthy of a start. He can't keep on having starts and then misperforming and expected to get into the team. There's no excuses now. You've had enough time to prove yourself. So if Nkunku comes back and then Nkunku performs better than Mudryk, it's not unfortunate for him.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But what I am saying is that Mudryk came in straight away and never got minutes. And then as soon as he's had his first real run this season, I think he's done well, mate. Now, lucky or not, whether some of his goals were, on purpose or, maybe he's a little bit raw, we can all see he was improving. And the question is, how much was he going to improve? If we don't give him that chance, we're never going to know. Now, I'm not saying for a second start Mudryk ahead of Nkunku or ahead of Chukwuemeka, but I'm just saying what I saw in pre-season. We all saw the same thing, guys. And we saw Chelsea play the best football we've played this season, maybe bar the Man City game in terms of the actual football, when we played with those players. And, that wasn't with Gallagher as a 10. That was with, Gallagher playing deeper and Chukwuemeka and Nkunku and Sterling up front with Jackson. So it's just a completely new look. The injuries forced Poch to rethink, which is probably another factor as to why we had a shaky start because we didn't practice in pre-season to play that way with those players. And then we're going to come back to, hopefully a full fit squad come the new year in December. And, I think he'll probably go back to what we were doing in preseason. So I'm not saying you're wrong, Kev. I'm not saying, that Nkunku shouldn't start if he's playing well. Absolutely. But then it goes, if Nkunku's coming back, but Mudryk is already fit, why should Nkunku start ahead of Mudryk? And that's what I don't like. The idea that a player who's building momentum has that momentum taken away from him so many times. I don't see another player in our squad who's had that more than Mudryk. And I do feel bad for him because I think he is becoming a key player for us in his own right. But I don't see him as a player that Pochettino is looking at and saying, I can count on you every week. For me, Mudryk is almost like what Havertz has been with Arsenal. Just bring him off the bench if you want an impact, And I think he done well against City when he come on. I think generally he's been good, but I don't see
You can't be £100 million player to be sitting on the bench, though.
No, you can't. But that's the reality of the situation at the moment.
Mudryk is a project player. He's in the right hands with Pochettino to improve. His passing lets him down sometimes. His crossing lets him down decision making. I think once he gets those three different attributes improved, we'll see a better Mudryk, because the ability is there in a sense where he gets on the ball. He's quick. He's sharp. He's aggressive. He wants to get into those attacking areas very quick. He doesn't mess around. But when it comes to the decision making in the final third, he hasn't been good enough, and that's where he's getting overlooked. So I think over the season, if he doesn't get as much starts as he wants, next season we'll probably see a better Mudryk. But he shouldn't be taking 2 seasons to see 100 million player perform. But it's, like I said, it's a long-term project. He's on a 7-year contract. It's not going to be a rush in it, really.
Yeah. We also have to take into account the team he's come into, right? He hasn't come into a team that's really worthy of having £100 million players, right? The team last year he walked into was a relegation standard team, 40-point FC. That's what we were last season.
And he could barely start in that team either.
That's ridiculous, isn't it, when you think of it? And now he's come into a team who definitely top 4 challengers, the way we're playing. I know people think it's silly, but I said it from the beginning. I expect Champions League football, and there was a point where I almost backtracked and said, "Listen, I'll take conference anyway, and I will take conference, just so we can actually win
goal, isn't it?
That's it, man. But it's difficult, man. It's really difficult, and I just think that we've got such a big squad. I mean, would you guys put Mudryk on loan, or would you keep him at the club?
He's got the same argument as Mudryk. As of right now, it's Sterling, Mudryk, and Nkunku who could potentially play on the left, as well as Palmer. You have Palmer and Sterling and Noni competing on the right.
And you got Chukwuemeka as well and Gallagher.
Yep. In the 10-2. So, there's limited opportunities for both of them. They're both 2 players who have just been really stagnated because of the fact that we're not in Europe. It's really damaged us this season, because that could be such easy opportunities for these youth players to develop and to showcase themselves. They don't have the opportunity because we have 1 game a week. So you're looking at Mudryk, you're looking at Noni, you're looking at Chukwuemeka, you're looking at I'd say Chalobah, but he's been injured. Lavia, if he was fit, Ugo Chukwu, Broja, Matson. All these guys are struggling because we got 1 game a week, and we just don't have enough game time to go around for all of these guys. So, any 3 from that list could realistically go on loan, in my opinion. You have to keep some for depth, but the rest are probably going to be stagnated this year because no Europe. That's why we've got to get back in this season.
I would sell Matson, though. I just don't see it.
Sorry,
I don't see it. If Poch isn't going to play him as a left back, then what are we doing? And
I don't mind him in the attacking mid positions. My problem with Matson is that we bring him off the bench in a cam, then we bring him off the bench to play left back, then we bring him off the bench to play right wing. It's like, pick a position. Pick a position and just let him develop that.
Only way I'd sell Matson right now is if Chilwell goes as well. And obviously, you've been seeing some speculation about Alphonso Davies. What's your thoughts on that? Because it's looking like a potential. He doesn't want to sign his contract to buy. He wants a new challenge, apparently. And if Real Madrid don't come up with it, he's open to a move to Chelsea because he's a massive Chelsea fan. So I'd be open to selling Matson and Chilwell if we're going to get Davies.
I've heard he's been a bit iffy at Bayern recently, but if Chilwell comes back and he's on the same form, then him out, Davies in, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Davison, Cucurelli's your left backs.
That's
I'm
quality.
happy. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Big up Chilwell for 2021, but like it's 2023 now. It's 2023.
I rate him massively. He's just the injuries is too injury prone. 2 seasons he's been in and out, and it doesn't look like he's going to recover through it. So it's.
I think I'll have to get Alphonso Davies one time at Chelsea. I think it's like we got experience and also the height, and that is like the thing that I think we're missing from our back line. I think we miss a bit of Chukwuemeka again, who's a 6 foot high. Then if we buy someone like Osimhen, for example, he's too like 6'1". Then Fofana back 6'3". So at least we have height. I think the issue at the moment, we're just kind of like, if we're going to be serious about the future, then the midfield is a more priority, because at the moment I'm looking at players like I'm just like scouting from international break, because I always scout someone during the national break. For example, have you guys heard about Moscardo from Brazil?
Yeah, we were linked with him in the summer. Decent DM. Lots of potential around him. I know we're linked with him. Arsenal are linked with him. I think there's one other club as well.
We just don't need another DM now, don't we?
More youth.
Nah.
Is he the one that PSG put that bid in for? Was another player. I heard about a £93 million bid for 2 Brazilian players.
Nah, it wouldn't have been for him. Have been for him. I'm not sure. All I know is we were linked to Moscardo in the summer. It never really materialized, but we might go back in again for him. He does look very good from the comps I've seen, but I mean,
I think we did. We did bid him in the summer. I think we did. We'll link him in the summer, but I think it was Barcelona and other teams that were after him too. I think they will say like, I think even some people that I've been come across to, like, I think he's going to be the key player in the next couple of years. I think it's going to be the one.
We can't have a more. You know what it is though.
Okay, so we offered 21.4 in the summer, and they wanted 25.6. So that was
we can't have them all.
Wonder Kids FC, man. Wonder Kids FC. Wonder Kids FC. That's what we are turning to.
17 years old.
And then what we're gonna do is loan them out. We're gonna get all of these players, loan them out, and what? They come back and just doesn't make any sense.
Just loan them out again, Kev. Absolutely.
I'd rather not. I'll just get some quality fucking experienced pros.
Wonder Kids FC.
Well, if we go for him, he's going to cost 30 million, around that amount, 25-30 mil. But apparently, next Casemiro. So,
hold on. We heard the same thing about Andre Santos, baby Casemiro.
We got 2 of them then. Even better.
Oh my God. Baby.
Hey, Vision 2030. Bowley has a plan.
Oh my goodness.
I see the vision.
No,
I see the vision, man. Buy all these youth players in 5 years, we got the best team in the world. It's crazy.
Probably end up sending them to that French team. What's that French team? That affiliate club? Is it
Strasbourg?
Oh yeah, even though they hate us.
Strasbourg. Strasbourg, is it?
Yeah.
Probably end up sending them there.
Angelo Gabriel, that's another winger we're going to have next season as well. He's sourcing it up for Strasbourg this season.
Are we going to be able to sign players on really long-term deals in January as well? It was the summer the last opportunity we had.
Oh,
no, we can do it in January because they'll change it at the end of the season, so we can still amortize up to 8 years.
Well, but then you say Osimhen's not realistic. Like, if the board want to get him on a long-term deal, which kind of fits into that plan of young players, I don't think they're going to be objecting 150 million quid or whatever it is. I think they'll pay it. If that is the one player that we are missing to challenge for Premier Leagues, and we can just don't see Napoli 3-4 years on his contract. You're saying that they won't spend the money? I think they will.
We know how hard Napoli are to negotiate, and they've already kind of hinted that in the summer they're willing to let him go with 1 year left. I think with 18 months, your only real bet is if you buy him and you loan him back till the end of the season. And I mean, I wouldn't be against that. I mean, you've confirmed the transfer, but he's not going to be here till the summer, so you're still in the same boat.
I think
Was
just
there a
confirm the
rumor?
transfer.
Yeah. Was
But
there a
that would
rumor-
add the amortization into it, so that could work. Or they could ask you to do it at the end of the season anyway, because the window opens before the 1st of July, so you could still amortize until July.
I thought the plan was to include Broja in that deal.
No, there's been rumors that they like Broja. We don't really know how true they are, and if they do want him, perfect. I always thought the better idea would be to just send Lukaku over there in the summer. And in case there's a lot of interest, it's like, nope, here is your proven Serie A striker and also your replacement. So send
forgot
us the
Lukaku.
squad.
I forgot we still got
Lukaku's a
You don't
slag.
care.
I even
You'll be
forgot.
like, oh, another badge to give. All right, cool. Big up Napoli and all of that. Might even wear the little Zorro mask to try and fit in quickly. But I think that would be the best plan. Bring Lukaku back in the summer, whether he likes it in Rome or not, and send him to Naples. Like, there you go. They get a number 9. They get a proven striker. We get a proven striker.
I think personally, Roma will close that deal out. Personally, he's doing well at the minute, and there's a £30 million clause. To be stupid not to activate it and take it full time. Yeah, sure. There's a £30 million clause, isn't there?
Stingy if they don't take that.
Yeah,
was it 30 million? I thought it was more than that.
£30 million
I hope
clause.
it's 30 million.
Sure.
Get him off our books immediately. I just don't like all these things about a Tammy Abraham swap deal. Like, no.
Oh, fuck Abraham, man. No way. No way.
Big up Tammy and all of that, but stay over there.
Bambi on ice, man.
Bambi on ice.
I'm good. Man's 6'5" for nothing. Forget that.
How's he been this season? Has he done like he's not starting any games?
He's out of an ACL injury, just to make it even worse. No. We don't need him. Respectfully, staying in Italy though, there's rumors from Gazzetta dello Sport that AC Milan could attempt to sign Chelsea defender Badiashile on loan in January. I'm just thinking, good luck. Why would we do this? There would be no reason to do this.
No, we got heights. We're good, man.
I don't think that's a bad loan, because if you actually look at it right now, you've got Silva, you've got Colwell, you've got Disassi, and then Fofana's going to come back from injury as well. I think Badiashile's minutes are limited this season. I mean, who are you dropping for him?
If anything, I'd be loaning Fofana out.
Fofana's not going to be back till the end of the season, brother.
Yeah, he's not going to be back till like March at least.
I heard some rumors about December or January. Something about him liking an Instagram post saying he should be back by around that period. If that's the case, send him out on loan. Give him a bit of game time in a slower league. That's fine. But Badiashile, nah. Badiashile's been one of our best players this year. We've got to keep him. He's proven himself in the limited time that he's been here.
By the way, I love Badiashile. I'm not saying that he should go because he needs to improve. I think he's already the level. I'm just saying, like, from his own standpoint, wouldn't it be better for him to get minutes in a top league, in a top team, knowing that he's actually going to get those minutes every week rather than being with us?
It's just a pointless loan. No, just think we're in January. Just ride it out to the end of the season, and Thiago Silva is going to be gone. Chalobah's going to go as well. So just ride it out. Like it's not a long-term thing. He's going to get a reasonable amount of minutes. I think if he goes to Italy, it's just a waste of time. It's just not going to, just let him learn at Thiago Silva, let him learn at Pochettino, embed him into the squad, embed him into the team, and he's ready for next season. Load him out now. He's just going to have to adjust back to what we're doing here again for next season. It's just pointless. Just keep him out.
Yeah.
Let him learn.
It's a waste of time. No, that's not. It's a waste of time loaning him out there. No. Plus, Milan's are literally poor. They're literally they're having issues with their financial as well. What's the point? They got lots of Sheik, Pulisic, Giroud, and Tomori. I mean, how many Chelsea players they want to take? Four's not good enough for you lot. What's wrong with you?
They're good players, man. So I don't blame them.
Yeah, they're doing well. I don't blame them for wanting to still shop over here. If anything, we might have another number 9 for sale in the summer. So go for it. What else do we have? Oh yeah, What's you guys' thoughts on this whole points deduction BS that's going on about Chelsea? Apparently, like, we could be in trouble because Roman Abramovich used offshore vehicles to fund tens of millions in football-related expenses that ought to have been paid for by the club, which I don't really understand, seeing as like he's the owner of the club. Why does it really matter that it went through the club or it didn't? It went through the owner's pockets to players or agents or people close to the player involved in the transfer. Stuff involving Antonio Conte, Eden Hazard's agent, one of Conte's associates, transfers, money connected to the purchase of players Willian and Samuel Eto'o. But I don't see how we would get in a lot of trouble for this. I don't see how we get a points deduction. People are trying to say we're going to get relegated and we haven't even been charged of anything. I feel like all of this is just big scaremongering because Roman's finance and everything is under a microscope. But if this was the case and this was something so dodgy, why didn't this come to light when we were being sanctioned? Why is it only coming to light now? I don't think there's anything to it, but do any of you guys think we're in any actual danger?
Clickbait. It's just a clickbait. Simple.
I mean, how about what's Man City's charges then? Like, if we're going to compare,
112
charges. I think it was.
Some are FFP related, some are like rules like the grass being too big in their ground and all sorts, but they've actually been charged. We haven't been charged with anything.
Man City, if Man City get done for all these, you know that they'll have to go to League Two and start all over again. That's how serious.
Or they could appeal.
Look, Everton got a 10-point reduction for one breach. So imagine 115.
Oh, that would be beautiful, man. I would love to see Man City in League Two.
They'll have all the Premier League stripped, Champions League stripped. They'll have everything stripped. They'll probably end up getting put down to League Two and have to start again.
Brilliant.
That's how deep it is. Yeah,
I don't think they do that though. There's too much money in the Premier League to lose one of the big dogs.
Well,
but doesn't matter. The rules are the
Come on, bro. You know what football's about in this day and age.
Man City are not a football team. Man City are not. If they get relegated, nobody will miss them.
Trust me, the Premier League will lose a lot in terms of money and revenue. Manchester Derby, the Liverpool games, and everything.
The rules are the rules, though. They can't bend the rules because Man City are a big club. Chelsea,
bro, billionaires bend the rules all the time. That's why I'm saying with this Chelsea stuff, like we really aren't going to be in a lot of trouble because name me an owner or a billionaire that doesn't bend the rules or hasn't done shady stuff to get to the top.
There are loads of owners. Yeah, there are loads of owners, man.
They
all have done it.
Yeah. Newcastle United
corruption is everywhere in this world.
Newcastle United are massively corrupt. Look at what they're doing with Ruben Neves. The sense of what they're doing is they're buying players from the Prem, sending them to the club in Saudi Arabia, and then loaning them back to Newcastle because it doesn't accumulate money on the FFP. So it's all corrupt.
You know, in 2019, I think Mancini came out and said that he got given under-the-table payments by the Abu Dhabi company or something like that. Guardiola even got interviewed about after the FA Cup final. Arsenal got found to be tax dodging, which was like a legal loophole themselves where they used trusts based in tax havens to pay the majority of player wages. And it apparently allowed them to report a much lower base salary and pay less in national insurance. But like this is just one or two examples of managers or owners trying to bend the rules in football. Happens all the time. That's why I'm thinking with something like this. Are we really going to say that like big players or big transfers haven't gone through with like stuff being given to associates or players' families under the table? And no, it happens all the time. I feel like they're just trying to make a story with us.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I mean, going back to Man City, if Everton have been deducted 10 points, then City should be relegated. Absolutely, 115 charges. Look, if you had one charge like Everton and you appeal that and you still fail, and you're telling me that City get away with 115 of those, nothing, no consequence whatsoever. Like, I mean, the least they should have is a transfer ban, a transfer embargo. That should be standard. I mean, relegation.
Maybe they'll have a
you
transfer
go back
ban.
to the
Maybe.
money side of it as well, Lewis. You know, you say that it will affect the Premier League. I don't think it will affect the Premier League because you've got Newcastle spending more money. You've got Aston Villa spending this money. You know, fucking years ago, mate, Nottingham Forest with the big dogs. People come in and people take over.
City still have bigger fan bases than all of them, though.
They won't know if they go down. They won't if they go down, and these other teams start actually picking up the trophies that Guardiola's left behind. Now the chase is for everyone. Every
City
club
really
is
haven't got
starting.
they haven't got a massive fan base though. City haven't.
No.
They really haven't.
Mate, that's
I'd say it's growing. I'd say
it's
it's definitely been growing. It's like they've been at the top for over a decade now.
Mate,
That's going to be a whole generation of new fans.
Obviously, it's grown internationally, but I'm talking if you go to Manchester, they've got a small population of fans. It's all Man United. They've got probably Stockport and those little places there with die-hard City fans. The rest of them are United.
I always thought Manchester was more City heavy.
No,
like anytime I take the train up to a United game, I feel like I'm already an away fan.
Yeah,
and I'm on the train up to Manchester.
They're all newbies. They're all newbies though. It wasn't say about 20 years ago. It was never like that. It was all United. City have always been United Shadows, and all these new fans that have got shirts on that, they're only putting shirts on that because the team's winning cups. Say 20 years ago, they wouldn't even want to do that. You know what I mean? So in comparison,
but they could have made the same argument about us 10 years ago.
No, Lewis, because we already had a big fan base. You know, we were a London-based team.
But this is the same argument they made about Chelsea 10 years ago. It's like, oh, your history is only 10 years old. You ain't got that much of a fan base and all of that.
Yeah, I can't like.
We actually won trophies and competed before Abramovich. City was there was in the
City was bought in 08.
But we still had a smaller fan base before Roman.
But that's every club ever, Lewis. I mean, that's just the way.
But then ours grew. Ours grew the same as Man City's has. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's been 10 years. But their fan base is now a lot bigger than what the gimmick was back 10 years ago.
No, that's true. That's true. But that still doesn't justify why they shouldn't go down.
I'm not saying whether they should or they shouldn't. I'm just saying I think there's too much money lost in City going down for them to do it. I think they would just give them a heftier fine or a transfer ban or both. I think that would be something more realistic. I don't see them getting relegated. Hell, maybe one division at the lowest. Maybe I might go with you there. Maybe to the Championship.
As
they go straight back up.
Look at the two biggest clubs in Italian history, AC Milan and Juventus. Called it about 15 years ago now. I think probably longer than that. Both of them went down to Serie B. And do you think the Italian
only Juve did?
Yeah, I think AC Milan got deducted.
They had like some fat points deduction.
Yeah. But there you go. Juventus, look at all the shirt sales and all the revenue they bring to the league. And you know what Italians are like with the money. So they didn't hesitate to relegate Juventus.
But weren't they match fixing though? Like that's a completely different offence.
I mean,
this is more financial fair play related. So you would punish that with a transfer ban or something. Because then it would be transfer related, not match related.
See,
so I get the arguments. I don't think they get relegated. I think that would be massive if they did that. It's not completely out the realm of possibility, but with how financially motivated football is nowadays, it just wouldn't make sense.
If these 115 charges like were released kind of like a year ago, then why all of a sudden like people think that they're gonna get relegated? This case will take at least like a couple of years, let alone the Chelsea case. It's gonna take years to sort that out. Like even by that time, like when it goes to like 2035, some people will forget it if this case like closed out.
What this really does is give City time as well. Like, oh crap, we might have a transfer ban for a year or two. Let's just stockpile players for a year.
And did you see that the other day about the City? They got the record breaking of income within a season, 750 million pounds they brought in. That's fixed as well. I don't believe a word of that shit. They are not bringing in 750 million pounds in one season. Not even Real Madrid are touching the numbers. So I don't know I believe there's something fishy going on. They're trying to clear the books or something, doing something dodgy.
There
Behind
might
the
be
scenes.
some loopholes. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
they're trying to level
surprised.
it out. They're trying to level it out, aren't they?
Where are they
Being
making
smart.
most of their money from? Obviously, TV rights, and then what?
Merchandise, all
Merch.
kinds of shit.
Merchandise, trophies, TV money,
Just think
match day
about it though.
revenues
If
like a small amount,
I was speaking to one of my colleagues at work about it. Just think,
their
if you
outgoings.
they're a massive multi-million. Where the Qatar? So I think they could probably buy their own merchandise just to level the books. You just never know these days what
Oh,
fucking
mate, we're
what people are
competing
doing,
against.
innit?
I mean, they are sponsored basically by themselves with Qatar Airways.
There you go. So they could just buy their own fucking match. Buy their own. Yeah, it's just fucking crazy shit going on at the minute.
These are what billionaires are on. They're always thinking outside the box. That's why I'm thinking something like this is probably minor. Like, unless we hear Chelsea have been charged with this, and we're going to court, I don't think we're going down. Everyone just wishes we were going down because it would be easy to take the piss out of.
Wasn't this self-declared anyway? So that makes us look even, less.
No. Only the last 3 years from UEFA that was self-declared. This was
Right.
stuff that we weren't really aware about.
I don't think
That's why this isn't a
yeah.
UEFA thing. This is the Premier League investigating because they can look past that.
I was going to say that, but yeah.
Fair enough.
So we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what happens.
Father, let me ask you something, mate, because
Yeah.
I really want to talk about it. You went and you saw John Terry, mate. So come on, talk to me.
Last night it was a good event, a good turnout as well, about 300 people, and even then John Terry was sounded that he was one of those person that you would like to hear some, unscripted story behind the scenes of Chelsea, and that even back in the day he told us about the 0405 season where we used to have like Lance Drogba, Terry, and Czech as a leader. And then talks about how on earth he got benched by Rafa Benitez for the third quarters of the season at that time. He just keep talking about it last night. It was mad to hear that stories like about Rafa. Then he told the story when he got phone call by Jose twice. And the second time that he said I'm coming home and that. But yeah, yesterday it was nice. It was nice though. Like, you're never gonna hear this kind of stories again, and I think that one of his biggest regret was I think it was the 09 season, because I thought that I think the 09 season, the 2008-09, I thought that after that Barcelona game, that I think mentally, like, I think it went downhill massively, and then he had doubts after the Benitez fallout whether he's gonna stay here another year or not. And then Conte season as well, when he got sub, I think after the Swansea game when we drew 2-2, he said something that, look, I don't have any time left in my career. I haven't got legs yet to play in this team. Like, you can keep me off. You can keep me on the bench just for the leadership and the locker room leadership and that. But yeah, it's one of those moments like, man, I'd love to hear more from him. But yeah, it was mad though.
Where was it?
It was in Tower Bridge yesterday.
Oh, fair enough. Because I saw one in Basingstoke as well. Like, a mate sent me this was like 2 months ago. He sent me a link for it. Man, the tickets are so expensive though, man. Like,
That was the one where Dan Levine was like trying to say John Terry was trying to paint John Terry in a bad light, weren't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
no, Matt Law.
Matt Law. It was Matt Law.
So what's he trying to do? Is he just going on tour around England and just doing chats? Is that what he's doing?
I don't know.
He's just doing chats, dinners, one-on-ones.
His own pocket. Is it for charity or is it for himself?
Charity. No, it's for charity. But okay. I think Matt Law tried to paint it out like it was for his own pocket, which was giving him a bit of bad press. But then John Terry had to come out and clear it out.
John Terry's pocket's fat as fuck anyway, so I don't see why he'd want to do that for his own pocket.
It's true.
He's a multi-millionaire.
Anything for clicks. We know what Twitter's about these days.
Yeah.
Impressions comes first. So if you can spin a story to make it sound a bit worse and get a few more interactions, that's just basic reporting these days. That's why you got to look at everything through a little glass, because there'll be one big headline and then you read it and it's barely even accurate. It's just spun. Everything just gets spun nowadays. But I say that, like, we do the same thing on YouTube. The game is the game. You just got to charge it.
Oh no, we don't do clickbait on this channel, Lewis.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that's a me thing. I got to speak up.
The title for this is going to be "We're signing Osimhen in January."
Hopefully.
Yeah, stick it in the thumbnail, mate. To be fair, I've got one other thing as well. We'll stick a link in the description. We Are Champion. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it, but they sent me this
Some frames.
this canvas, and it is lovely.
Oh, jeez. Oh, but let me put you on the
really
big
good, isn't it?
screen quick.
That is
Jeez.
I think that is quality.
Oh, I want that.
It's foreshadowing.
That's
what that is.
actually, I'll be honest with you. Apart from my neck's strong, but it's not that strong. That's a big neck. But apart from, mate, they've perfectly fitted my face on there. So
That is a great sketch. That is actually a really good sketch.
Big up to those guys. And
so what's the link then? You click the link and pay for it. What do you do?
Yeah, I'll leave their link in the description. So if people want to go on there, like, it's not just Chelsea shirts. You can get like a Man City shirt or Liverpool, Real Madrid, bunch of different clubs. And basically you just send them like a picture of you, and they'll just stick your face on. I thought it was good, man. They DM'd me and I was like, okay, I had a look at it. But yeah, they're actually legit. And mate, the service is good, like fast postage, pretty clear and concise, and it's good quality as well. It's not a small, like I was expecting something really, really small like this. You know, it's like I could put by my bedside table, but you can actually hang that up on a wall. Like that would be good for like a background like what you've got, Lewis. Something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do have a bit more room now with this camera, so I could work around.
I need something for that. A picture for that. So
yeah, I'll have to have a look at that.
Check it out.
Yeah, defo. But guys, it's been the end of yet another good pod. Hope you guys have enjoyed the content. Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below, whether you agree or disagree with anything that we've been saying. And let's hope we're back with a big win up at Newcastle on the weekend. Big up to everybody that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe, and as always, up the Chelsea.